Hey guys, it's Matt with Olympus Reptiles, and well, I'm not afraid to admit that I have herpes. That joke will get old probably by the end of this day. So anyway, we got one more clutch I'm going to share with you right now, and a few more that we're still waiting to either fully come out of the egg or fully shed out, that kind of thing. But we'll update you on all the ones we have since you're kind of stuck with us through all the live stuff. And this one was what I would say has been the biggest disappointment in a clutch in 2017. But like anything, there's still victory that comes with disappointment if you know how to find it. So let me kind of set the stage for you so you know which clutch we're updating before you start pulling out babies. This was Dad, and Dad is a very, very important snake to me. He is a visual pied. This was a snake that, if you followed all along with us, you've heard the story about how this is a snake that brought Question Girl into liking ball pythons. This was also supposed to be a female. But when I bought this snake, we weren't overly experts at sexing ourselves yet. I mean, something that comes with kind of, just practice. And we weren't really good at it, and I trusted the guy I bought it from. And I don't think that guy purposely ripped me off. I'd bought from him before. And sexing, well, you can get a pretty good idea. It's hard to be 100% all the time. You're going to miss some occasionally. And he probably popped it and just didn't quite get the hemipenes and thought it was a female. It was, I'm sure that it was an honest mistake. But this thing's a male. So when I found that out, I thought, well, crap, I better figure out my project because it changed. You got to be a little flexible. So I ended up trading for what was supposed to be a female het pied. I also ended up with a female pied, so there's still hope. And this was the het pied here. Supposed to be a proven het pied. Didn't have overly strong markers, a little bit, but as you know, markers are just kind of an idea, they're not a guarantee. Big healthy girl, because it hadn't been proven to me. The guy that had it hadn't proven it personally. The guy he got it from hadn't proven it personally. And he'd got it from a guy that claimed to have proven it at a show. So, I didn't give the size het pied value for it. I took it as a partial trade, and I gave slightly above what you would for a proven normal. You are just Miss Hissy. And she's been hissy ever since I got her. The guy I got her from was like, every time you open it, she tries to bite your face off. And she's calmed down a lot for us, but she still likes to hiss a little bit. So we bred her. She took, and she started hatching eggs while Question Girl and I were on vacation. So Kurt calls me and says, hey, eggs pippin'. First one's pippin'. I said, what is it? He goes, it looks like a normal. Well, I wasn't disheartened yet because I knew, by odds, if that was het pied, we'd get half normals, half pies. That's what the odds should say, right? We have 9 eggs?
Yep.
So, if we got 4 pies, I was pretty happy. If we got 3, I'd take that. So I wasn't upset that the first one was, but I told him, I said, Kurt, we're going to come back, we're going to film. Because this is right before vacation was over. So we're going to be back in about a day. I couldn't come back early because I was planning on popping the Question Girl. This is before I popped the question, remember, right? Right? Yeah, right before, day of. So I couldn't drop everything and come home. So I said, I'll be back, when we plan, and don't tell me when any more pip. I don't want to know what they are because we're going to cut that clutch live, the rest of them, and I wanted you guys to see what I saw and feel what I felt and kind of have that really out in the open and be raw. So he didn't. So if you all knew Kurt, you know he's pretty straight-faced, so I had no idea what it was. We came home, and as soon as I got home that day, we didn't even fully unload the car. We came down and we filmed that because I couldn't wait to find out what I had. And when I opened the tub, and you can go back and look at the live video, all 9 had already pipped, and I could tell they were all normal by the head. So it was, she didn't prove out of 9 eggs she should have proved. I mean, I could have just completely whipped on the odds, but chances are pretty low of that. And so, while I was happy they were all alive, and happy they were all doing well, it was hard on some level not to be somewhat disappointed that we didn't get those pieds crawling out. But, yeah. So Kurt and I kind of talked and said, we want to hold any of these. And we kind of thought, no, they're hets. We'll just get rid of all the hets. We'll wait on the visuals. And we were just going to kind of wash our hands from this clutch and move on when we got them all sold. Well, as they were shedding out, Question Girl peeked at one. I'm not going to make you look at 9 normal snakes today because Let's be honest, that wouldn't be that much fun. But there is one I'm going to show you. This is the one that when it hatched out, came out of the egg, we were doing all the weighing, I noticed a special little spot on it. I'll show you what I noticed. Now this one's shed. It still needs to eat. It's only been offered food once. It didn't take that. We'll try it again. Its weight's still good, so I'm not worried. But that is right there on the tail. See that orange coming through? And on this side here, that orange coming through. It's got a pied marker ringer. You can see the pied tracks on it like crazy. But it has, you can even see the orange down in there on the side. So I had a ringer. So I pulled my God, that's kind of neat. It's got a ringer. Question girl fell in love with it. So from that moment on, she wanted me to keep this snake. And so I thought, hey, there's an opportunity here. So I told her, so I'll tell you what, we can keep it, but this snake is yours. This is your project. So this is kind of my way to pull her into my world just a little bit more. I said, you're going to pick the pairings with this snake. Obviously, you should do pied to it first so you can get some visuals. But then you can pick what you're going to put with your pieds. And this will be your project to raise and do with what you see fit. Because she really loves Artemis. And she really loved this snake. And she named it already. And she broke with rank from what we usually name our snakes and named it Bianca. I don't know why. I think it was because I told her I hated that name for a daughter if we ever had one. So she picked it for the damn snake. But that's
30 years.
That's what it's going to be. So this is Question Girls. This is her first official holdback snake. That's hers. That she's going to be the project for and that she loves. So there was a victory that came out of that. I got to pull people I care about more into my world and share something with them. So there's always a silver lining in even the disappointment in this business if you know where to look. All right. Speaking of that, Question Girl, do your job. Got any questions?
What do I pair her with to make panda pieds?
So you can tell if she's already kind of got a pick. Well, the best thing to pair her with would be something we don't have, which would be a black pastel pied. What I would do is I would pair her with a pied to get some female pieds, which will also have some of those. But you need to get black pastel in there. And then you take a black pastel pied, and you try to pair, or not black pastel pied, black pastel pied, and you want to put that to some other black pastel pieds or some black pastel het pieds together. But basically what you need is a homozygous black pastel and a homozygous pied. And you also need to be ready to possibly deal with some deformities if you're going to go that route. You should see her face right now. And the reason is because you're basically making a super black pastel pied, okay, to do that, to get a true panda pied. And with that, it's just, they have a high rate of deformities, kink spines, duck billing, things like that. So you need to be ready to have to cull some babies. Still want to make panda pieds?
Maybe.
Maybe? I'll show you another option you got here in a bit. We can play on some apps. See if you want to go that route instead, where you don't have to deal with the kinking duckbill, and you're going to get almost the same look. Not quite, but almost. All right, any more questions?
Yeah, wasn't there one that you had shown me where I can make a pied that kind of looks like a banana?
Well, you can make a banana pied. That's a pied that kind of looks like a banana.
Yeah.
How would you do that?
Can I put a banana to Bianca and make that happen? Or does it have to be a true, like, visual pied?
You're a couple generations away. If you
so what you're saying is this snake I have to wait on. That I have to wait for all of her babies to do stuff. But all she's going to do is make babies and I have to wait for those babies to do something else.
To get pieds.
You know?
Yes.
This is like a gateway snake. And I don't like this.
What you could do, if you really wanted to go that route, you could pick up a banana het pied, breed that here, and then you could get your banana pieds.
You know, if you're going to feed me the brownie, you need to disclose what's in the brownie.
I did. You just don't remember. You could also take one of our banana black pastels that we're going to hold back, breed to this, and make bananas and black pastels that are both 50% possible het pieds. Look for the markers, do our best to hold back our best guess, and work both those projects at once. Oh, she says. So that's also a possibility.
Do I keep the money from my projects?
No. Not unless you're going to come down here and clean poop and do all that.
Don't I do that after you?
Sometimes. You'll get just as much of a percentage from your projects as Kurt and I get from ours.
Yay.
Which is zip. Any more questions?
No.
Alright, camera guy Kurt, any questions?
No.
Alright guys, thanks for watching. And that was a story of, I guess this is clutch number 3, right? Yeah. We'll have some more updates on clutch number 4 and 5 just as soon as we can. The reason we can't yet is because we want to get them all to shut out and look their best before we share. Alright guys, thanks for watching and we'll see you soon.